When it comes to adventure riding, over the past 3 decades, BMW Motorrad has continuously set the bar in the adventure riding category. Going back as far as 1980 when they launched their first GS, which by the way stands for Gerlandstrasse, or Terrain Street. The air-cooled 800cc R80 was basically a big dirt bike repurposed for the street. Fast forward some 30-odd years to behold this flat twin-powered R1200 GS. The same Terrain Street concept is here, but this is a dramatically different machine. At the heart of this puppy is BMW's newest fuel-injected 4-stroke Boxer power plant, mated to a single-disc dry clutch and 6-speed gearbox. In the suspension department up front, the R1200 uses BMW's adjustable single-spring telelever fork, while out back, the bike's die-cast aluminum single-sided swing arm sports BMW's multi-adjustable paralever system and shaft final drive. Heated grips, center stand, and ABS are all standard, but you can also order up trick features like an automatic stability control system, tire pressure control, onboard computer, and electronic suspension adjustments are all there for the taking. So how does all that work out in the real world? Well, here now is this week's guest road tester, Jeff Kay.
So I know that you've ridden other adventure bikes before, and you've had some experience around the concept of adventure touring. This is clearly one of the grandfathers of of adventure touring. What did you think?
Well, you know what? I mean, I own a V-Strom 650, as you know, which is a light, nimble, Swiss Army knife of motorcycles. But this is the big dog. This is sort of the final word in adventure touring, and I guess it's been one of the most successful motorcycles in the world for the last 30 years, and the 1150 before that. It's an extraordinary bike. It's not a light bike, it's a heavy bike.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 500 pounds. But the center of gravity with this flat twin motor, that massive engine is quite low, and the seat is quite low.
Yeah.
It feels like you've got a very low center of gravity, which makes it super, super nimble. More nimble, in fact, in my view, than the 650 V-Strom, which is a pretty nimble bike for getting around the city.
Quite a testament, yeah.
The other thing I would say is the responsiveness of the throttle is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Fly-by-wire, so there's no cables there, so
Yeah.
there's no slack there, and the different modes
Yeah.
are sort of in ascending order. From rain, which is quite soft and kind of subdued, to I think dynamic is the
sport mode. Yeah.
And boy, you've got to be paying attention because it is absolutely razor sharp. So to the point where you kind of think about a throttle input and it's happened almost before you're ready for it. So you kind of have to be careful with it that way.
I agree with you on all levels with this motorcycle, except for one thing I would add to that is it fits. It's such a comfortable bike, like where your hands sit, your feet sits, the width of the saddle, the comfort of the saddle.
Yeah.
It's like, this is truly an all-day motorcycle.
Yeah, big widespread handlebars,
Mm-hmm.
which first you think, that's pretty big for the city, but it gives you that extra leverage for the maneuverability.
Yeah.
The other thing is the turning radius, like lock to lock, is actually quite dramatic.
Yeah.
Which for a reasonably big bike, you can move the thing around in a very small space. So that's great if you're out in the woods, if you're in a gully somewhere. But boy, it's great when you're in the city too.
Yeah, with this new generation engine, it just spins up and goes.
Yeah.
But it also has great stopping power.
Well, you know what? It's one finger stopping, and it's a linked ABS system. So you can actually, your inputs can be here or at the foot pedal.
Yeah.
And if you're on gravel as we were today, if you want to just be careful on the gravel, you stay off the front brake. You can do it all with the back brake too. So I mean, you got to hand it to the guys. They've refined this bike, but it's almost like what they say about the gold wing in the sort of luxury cruising market. It's perfect. There's nothing more to do to it. And this kind of owns the field in its own particular way.
So you said right at the beginning when we started to chat about the bike, you were amazed at just how nimble it was, how much torque it had, and how you would recommend that it be used as a commuter and something to sort of zip through the city, and yet the iconic vision of this bike is some guy riding to Alaska and back, right?
Well, which goes to to show you that you can ride to Alaska and then use it as a commuter when you get there.
anything disappoint you, Jeff? Because I think we've done about 5 minutes of just raving.
Yeah,
Anything?
and you know what? I was thinking about this for the last couple of days, and I'm thinking, what do I not like about this bike? And you know, I do notice that at highway speeds, these things wiggle a little bit. That's about that's the
You're trying now.
I'm
You're
trying. Yeah, I'm looking for stuff.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay. Great job. Nice work.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.